Lost in the woods without a knife? No problem. Welcome to Southwest Survival. My name is Jan. I'm here to show you how to make a blade out of just a river cobble. Making a stone blade in the wilderness is one of the most important skills. I did a 4-month course where it's called Stone Age Survival, and everything we made in our toolkit we had to make only with stone tools. You imagine how slow that was. So it took me 3 days to actually carve out a fire by friction set using my stone tools, and then you're hoping that you can actually get a fire out of that set. So if you give somebody a knife in the woods and they know what they're doing, it's a piece of cake. But let me show you how to make an actual blade. They truly do work out of river cobbles. So pretty much wherever you're at, you're going to be able to access some kind of material that's going to help you to make a blade. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for what we call talking stones. So I'm going to find a hammerstone, which is going to be the one that's going to strike the cobble, and that's what I'm going to look for first. And I already have some kind of played out here. So this is what we like. This is like a kind of a baseball-sized stone, more dense material, nice and round, and it feels good in the hand. So what I'm also going to look for is I'm going to look for the actual river cobble that I'm going to strike. So what you're going to do is you want to test out the different river cobbles to see if they have a glassy sound to them. If they have a glassy sound when you tap them, then it's going to have that brittleness to it where it actually will break off a flake for us. So I'm just going to show you with a couple different stones. You can hopefully hear the different sounds. So this one's kind of a high-pitched globby sound. When I grab this one and kind of hit it, it kind of has that high-pitched kind of a ching sound. So my instructor used to call it talking stone. So the stones are actually talking to each other. So what we're going to look for when we're looking at our cobble is we're looking for a flat place and where there's a corner and a ridge line. So here I have a corner, I have a nice flat surface, and I have a ridge line coming down the middle. So if you were to strike a BB into a window, you'd see what's called a Hertzian cone, where the energy travels into the glass and it spreads out, just like a bullet when it's hitting a target. So I'm going to be doing the same thing with this hammerstone. But what's going to happen with this particular river cobble, when I strike it, because I'm striking on the edge rather into the center of it, the energy is going to have a chance to actually travel along the outer edge part, the cortex, and pop off a blade. So let's see how we do. So what I want to do is I want to tilt the stone at a very high pitch angle. So imagine you're taking your fingertips and you're giving yourself a high five with just your fingertips like this. Okay, and that's the motion we want. So it's a very circular motion, very almost like a surprise when you knock off a blade. I usually lay down a jacket or an army poncho or something because you're going to get a lot of blades flying off of these sometimes. And each of those little tiny blades can be used. So let me go ahead and show you how it works. So I have my little triangle right here. I'm going to go ahead and strike right on it. I usually tell people when you do this, you want to kind of give yourself some muscle memory. So just practice it a couple of times. Make sure everything's out of the way. You don't want to hit your fingers. It's a bad day at the office. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress the stone so I can hold that energy in, and I'm going to give this a nice circular motion. All right, let's see how we go. So just like that. Okay, so here's this is what we call a discoidal flake. And what happened, I'm going to put this back so you can see, is I hit on this corner and the energy traveled down through the stone and it had nowhere else to go. And so it's going to pop off. Are these sharp? Yes, they're very, very sharp. It depends on the material that you're using. River cobbles, yeah, I can definitely carve wood with this. Now what's cool about this is I can also turn this stone, the river cobble itself, into a hand axe if you really start knapping these very carefully. So here we go. So I got my first tool. I got my stone blade. And with this, I can make all kinds of other kit. So guys, that's how you make a stone tool out of a river cobble. It takes just a little bit of practice. When I'm teaching this in classes, there's a lot of humor when people are banging around the rocks, but eventually they get it. I think about after a half an hour of hitting stones, people are popping off blades left and right. Very, very important skill and something that could save your life if you had nothing with you. Well guys, it's as easy as that. Hitting 2 stones together to make a stone blade to survive. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and also check out my website at southwestsurvival.com. to learn more.